I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. And we sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman, because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're a little bit better tonight. Things are going a little bit more smooth. We are second evening in a row, second episode in a row, coming to you live from Mud Creek Studio. We are on the property. We are on the premises of Mud Creek Studio. We are not in what I will call Studio 1. We're not in Studio 1. Studio 1's the main studio. We are in a little bit of a we're like in an auxiliary studio, I guess I should say. While we're still waiting, what we are waiting on now in Studio 1 is the installation of 1-inch pipe to actually go in the top of the ceiling to clamp our our key lights and things too. So that's what we're trying to do. And I need to get a couple last minute items in that I've been looking for. I could have went more green than this, and I really wasn't trying to go for an actual color tonight. What I was trying to do was not make it so blue as I was last night, because at the Lighthouse Studio, the blue wasn't on me. The blue was behind me, and I was white. But yesterday we had some chaos going. So yes, the sound is much better. The video is better. Things are going well. We are slowly getting there. And it'll be just in time to then move the camera and the mic system over into the main Studio 1 at Mud Creek, and then I will mess it all up again. So we will deal with it. Ladies and gentlemen, we do have a couple of important things to discuss this evening. We've got 3 topics. We're going to be discussing 3 important topics. Topic number 1, the first topic straight up, we're going to be discussing the situation with the Muncie's drone situation, something that's been being discussed over the last couple of weeks. It's been being discussed in the county building, in Delaware County Commissioners meetings. It's being discussed in Muncie City Council meetings. So we're going to be discussing that. Then we're going to discuss the Muncie Park Board meeting that will be taking place tomorrow. That's going to be important, okay? And then lastly, and I hate having to do it, but I just feel like we have to. We're going to give a little bit of an update on Henry County's comic relief. Randy Coward, there is an update. I did contact the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy today, and I spoke to a couple of folks down there, and I'm waiting on one of the instructors that I'm really close with to contact me back. I have their legal department that I've been working with, and so we have some interesting things. Now, I do want to offer up before we get started. We see this Toxic Crew Elite Force saying hello in the comments. I want to put this up on the stream. I know that there's a lot of you guys may or may not recall who that is. Okay, but the Toxic Crew Elite Force, that's none other than Roger Winston. And if you don't recognize the name, Roger Winston, ladies and gentlemen, was the name of the dance instructor, the guy from Milwaukee, I think it was, and his bus unfortunately broke down in a very unfortunate place. If you are a person of color, if you are different in any way, his bus broke down in Henry County, and he had a very unpleasant situation dealing with the Henry County Sheriff, and it was a complete shit show because the sheriff not only was extremely rude and out of place with Roger and the kids that was on his bus, but he was also very rude to the police officer from Shirley that stopped to help. Just a really weird situation all around. Well, every so often, Roger sends me a message and lets me know that they are raising funds, and we always try to help him out when that's happening. So I'm going to put this up on the screen here. Here is the GoFundMe. I'm also going to put it in the comments. And if any of you are so inclined, I know that times are tough, and I know that everybody's hurting right now, but this is a very cool program. And people say, well, wait a minute, they're not even from our area. Yeah, I know that. And I know that people's like, well, if I'm going to help somebody, I'm going to help somebody from my area. But I feel like specifically the people of Henry County, we're like linked to this guy. Whether we wanted to be or not, it is what it is. We are like forever linked because he had to deal with the sheriff down there. And so because we were able to get familiar with what he's doing, I know that it's a good cause, and so it's definitely something that I feel comfortable pushing. So there's the GoFundMe, and this is a fundraiser to support Toxic Crew Elite Force dance trip. Okay, I will read this here. It says Toxic Crew Elite Force Dance Company was founded in 2017 by Roger Winston, who wanted to pour his love for dance into young individuals inspired by the craft. Since the beginning, the team has been free to join, making dance accessible to kids who might not otherwise have the chance. The group welcomes dancers from age 5 to 19. When members age out, they often return as coaches to give back to the next generation. They are currently raising funds to help cover travel to an Airbnb lodging cost for their upcoming dance competition. With prices rising, it has become more challenging to provide meals, activities, and safe accommodations for the dancers while they travel. Every donation will help ensure the kids have a place to stay, enough food, and the chance to experience a new city and state, many for the first time. Your support will also help them prepare for the competition and continue to offer free dance opportunities to youth in the community. They love all the support they receive and believe in the power of dance to bring happiness and growth to young people. If you are interested to see the youth thriving, traveling, and doing more through dance, they're your team. They want to thank everyone for considering a donation and to help them keeping the mission alive. And I want to say that this is very important because this is a very decent thing that these youth are doing. When we think of, specifically inner city children, youth, there's a lot of times where if idle hands, the devil's playground, that kind of thing. When they don't have something to do, something after school or something to go to, oftentimes kids, even young children, will find themselves getting into trouble. And this is something that offers the children something to do, and it's very cool. So I think that this is a good cause. And anytime Roger pushes this out, I donate, and I push this forward. So anybody else that might be inclined to help out, there you are. I will also, Roger, I will put this on my social media when I get off the program tonight, and we'll get this out. So that's good. And Roger says they're heading to Memphis, Tennessee, April 22nd through 26th. Has Sheriff Sproles started GoFundMe to cover legal expenses? He's and when he sued so frequently. No, you know why? Because taxpayer dollars take care of him. Taxpayer dollars, and these insurance companies who are no longer getting paid by Henry County are taking care of him. So he doesn't fortunately have to do this. So that's very crazy. Okay, let me get some questions here. We have any insight if we'll see an arrest in the theft of funds situation from EMT last week? Oh yeah. So I will tell you, I have a couple of sources inside the Indiana State Police, and I have talked to a couple of those sources. I also have sources inside the Delaware County government, and I will tell you that I fully believe that we will see an arrest in this situation. I don't believe it's going to take long. I think that it will happen pretty quickly. And I will tell you this. It could be a situation in which that person could have been arrested today. I have had my head buried inside the studio, doing work and taking care of a bunch of stuff here. So I have not been able to check up on that. I'm going to get outside tomorrow, and I'm going to be out in the world doing things, and I will take a look and try to figure out tomorrow. I'm not trying to give anybody any kind of like secret little codes. I don't know that the person has been arrested. I'm just saying I believe it's going to happen quick. It could have happened today, and I just don't know about it. I think that when it happens, I will get notified, and I will let you guys know. But yeah, I fully believe that an arrest will come out of this. I fully believe that there will be an extensive criminal case filing of this. I don't believe. I know people are not going to agree with me here. I don't believe that this person is going to specifically get a break in this situation. What I'm going to say here is I believe that we will see this individual charged just as anybody else would be in this situation. And whatever happens criminally, I believe that we will see something happen that any other person would, we would see. I don't believe there's going to be special treatment for this individual just because they were the office manager for the Delaware County EMS. I can always go back and have to eat those words, and you guys can say I told you so, but I don't believe that we will. I don't believe that we will. I don't believe that we will see something happen that's like oh, you've been a part of the county here, so we're going to give you a slap on the hands. I don't think that's going to happen. So I could be wrong, but we will see what goes on here, and we will continue to watch that, obviously. Okay, so moving forward here, before we move on here, I want to see. Oh, that would be awesome. Roger, if you guys are able to come back this way ever, that would be really cool. Okay. So, let's see what, let's see what we can get into here. So, first and foremost, I have to say this. Everybody, well, I don't know how many people are aware of this. Last night, at the very end of the night, I know last night's show was a little wonky because of the audio and everything. But at the end of the show, I read an email that I had sent to the Muncie city councilors. And I said last night that I sent it to all 9 councilors. I had not received a whole lot of responses back. I had only received, I think, 2 responses. Oh, I received 3 responses. I received a response from Nora Powell for District 2. I received a response from District 6, Harold Mason. And I received a response from at-large to Rose Selvey. Now, I only count it as 2 responses instead of 3 because Rose Selvey didn't respond in a real manner. she responded to say, "Hey, yes, I see this. I see that you've emailed me," but she didn't say anything. It was I don't for the life of me, I have no clue why she responded that way. I meant to try and call her today, but I was unable to do so. So just as a quick reminder, the email that I sent last night to the city council members was the email that goes as follows. City councilors, during the March 2026 meeting of the city council, a resolution was discussed regarding an interlocal agreement with the county for a drone base on the old county building for MPD. They want to put a charging station on the county building. Okay. That sparked considerable discussion. That entire situation is the basis for this email. I have 3 questions for all of you. First, during the meeting, several of you asked for information pertaining to the city police department's drone policy. Have any of you received that information? Okay. Have any of you received that? That's question 1. Stumblefoot, I'll get right to that. That's a good question. So that was question number 1. Question number 2, I said the county commissioners are also dealing with this as well. The first time they discussed this was the morning of the Monday, March 2nd, 2026 meeting, the same day as the city council meeting. They tabled the resolution for the same reason that the city council did. They had a lack of information. I thought one of the things I saw and found odd was no one from the city was there to talk about it, which, I just found to be odd. They had another meeting today, and this topic was on the agenda. My question was, I was wondering if any of the 9 Muncie city councilors had reached out to talk to anybody from the Delaware County commissioners about this, either before the meeting back on the 2nd or before today's meeting. So that was question number 2. And then question number 3 is, I have had a number of my audience, you guys, ask the following question. You guys all want to know if the Muncie city councilors were aware that on Wednesday, February 11th, 2026, Mayor Dan Ridenour and Chief Nick Sloan attended a Board of Works meeting to talk about the contract with the city was entering into with a company out of Indianapolis called Veritas. The job that Veritas is tasked with is to try and locate a building or a place to build a new building for the Muncie City Police Department. The contract is for this project scope lasting 6 months, and they will be paid $44,079 out of the mayor's edit funds. The question is simple. Are or were any of you aware of this before I brought it up? Were you guys aware that the mayor did this? Are you aware that they're trying to move the city police department out of the Muncie City Hall? And so that's what I sent, okay? Now, before we move forward, I want to go back and I want to hit Stumblefoot's question. Stumblefoot said, riddle me question. I don't know what you're saying. Riddle me this question, Kristopher. I don't know what you're saying. What's your average response time after you put in an APRA request, which is a request for records? I would assume that you're wanting to know just for City Hall, or are you wanting to know from everybody? Because it's quite different. So I would say a normal, okay, just from City Hall. Okay. Well, I'll answer it to you like this. I was extremely hard on the Tyler administration. And even though I was very hard to get along with the Tyler administration, generally when I would issue record request to the Tyler administration, I would have my request back within a week, 5 to 10 days, 10 days at the most. Okay. And that was always, it didn't matter if what I was finding was good for the mayor or bad for the mayor. It was generally a week. Now, if I was asking for something that was 5, 6, 7, 10 years. Okay. So, if that's what was happening there, then it might take 30 days, 60 days. But if I was asking for something that was happening in real time, it took about a week. Since Dan has been in office and he's had 5 or 6 different communications directors and a couple of different HR directors, and they both handled record requests at various times, I will say that every record request that I have ever issued to the city has been probably at least 2 or 3 months. And that's on the short end. Some of them have lasted 6 months. Some of them I'm still waiting. There's still records requests that I'm still waiting on. I have issued complaints to the public access counselor. The problem there is the public access counselor is new, and it's taking her forever to get through very simple issues. So it's taking forever. Now, Kate brings up Las Vegas, the Delaware County situation. That's different than the city of Muncie, but that is something that's very, very that's something that is something that is very frustrating. Okay. So if there's anybody else out there that is issuing records requests to the city of Muncie and you're getting these within a week, okay, I would say that I would like to hear from you. If you are getting things and you're getting them within a week, you're getting them within 2 weeks, please get in contact with me, because I would like to work something out with you, because it's got to a point where it's taking longer and longer and longer to get record requests. I just 2 weeks ago, a week ago, requested emails that have just recently been sent between the administration and Prairie Creek, and I'm still waiting on them. They refuse to send these to me. So I think I know why they're refusing to send them to me, but the problem is they have to give them to me eventually. I will wait them out until doomsday, but it's better, like I've said, to just go ahead and give them to me. So we'll see what happens there. Okay, what I want to do is I want to move on to the commissioners meeting today because we're talking about this drone situation. And what I think is interesting is this is supposed to have been an interlocal agreement between the city of Muncie and Delaware County. Okay. City of Muncie and yeah, right. Now it should be because they should be able to just forward that to me. It's crazy. So the interlocal agreement is supposed to be between the city of Muncie and Delaware County. What's interesting is before the city of council dealt with this at their Monday meeting, the commissioners dealt with it for about 10 minutes that Monday morning. They had no information about it and they tabled it. Now, I assumed that between that meeting and this meeting, they would have talked and they would have got a little bit more information. And so I was going to be watching today's meeting to see exactly what was going to be discussed. Now, I will tell you, it was on the agenda going into today's meeting. So the Delaware County, let me pull this up here so you guys can see this. The Delaware County commissioners did discuss this today. Let me pull this agenda up here so you guys can see this. Okay. And here is the agenda. All right. Monday, March 16th, 2026. Here is tabled business, Delaware County American Tower audit lease amendment request. Okay, and then tabled business, the second tabled business, we see drone base interlocal agreement, Stephen Brand. Then they go into approval of minutes, commissioners meeting, presentations, CVSO, accreditation standards, Cambria Sparks, contracts or agreements, approval, warranty deed bridge, Violetics contract, Dean Thomas, payment processing agreement, Brad Polk, Motorola radio contact, contract, Fred Cummins, RDSA settlement, Broken Struble. And then look at this. Look at this. Drone base lease, Stephen Brand. What's that? What's that? Well, they must have planned to do something with drone-based interlocal agreement because then this is down here in the contracts or agreements for approval. All right. And then their standard rest of their agenda is here. So we're going to pull up this meeting and we're going to listen and see if there's anything of interest happening in this commissioners meeting. This is the meeting from this morning. This just 12 hours ago, and it's the Delaware County Commissioners, President Sherry Riggin, and then Commissioner Steve Brand and Commissioner Shannon Henry. Okay. Here is this. So we're going to push this forward. We're going to go past the Pledge of Allegiance. We're going to get into the business.
Okay.
Here we go.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Henry. Here. Commissioner Brand. Here. Commissioner Reagan.
Present. Thank you. I think we have some appointments. I do not have any for the Fair Board. Have we heard from the Board of Health yet?
I've not heard back from the Board of Health. We did submit a one Democrat letter of interest. I'm not sure if they meet the requirements or not. We have not heard back from the Board of Health.
This one. Did you want to do that? Yorktown Library?
We have to do it today. So yeah, Yorktown Public Library, we have the current appointments, Kimberly Pike. We received a letter from the director of the Yorktown Public Library, Liz Roselle, recommending her to be reappointed. We also have a letter of interest from Nick Papandrea. And in the last meeting, there was question whether Nick had enough time to do it or not. And I spoke to Nick directly. He said he did, and then he sent an email confirming. So we have 2 potential candidates.
I'll make a motion. We appoint Nick.
A second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Henry.
Yes.
Commissioner Brand. Yes. Commissioner Reagan.
Yes. Okay. Under table business.
Here we go.
anything You'd like to remove?
I'd like to remove, make a motion to remove the drone base interlocal agreement from the table.
Second. I'll second them. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Henry.
Yes.
So they're removing it from the
Yes.
table.
Commissioner Reagan.
Yes.
I'd like to kill this lease agreement. Like to remove it from consideration.
Now,
Second.
he just said he wants to kill
Roll
it.
call, please.
Commissioner Henry.
Yes.
Commissioner Brand. Yes. Commissioner Reagan.
Yes. Okay, thank you. And approval of the minutes for March 2nd.
So let me pause this here for a second. And let's talk about what just happened here. So he pulls it off the table and he killed it. So now, are we done with it? Is it over? Will there not be anything else discussed here? Will this not be discussed in just a couple of ticks down on the agenda? Well, let's find out. So right there, what he did was he killed the county side of the interlocal agreement. Okay, so now let's move forward and find out what else happens here. Now I'm going to fast forward through this, and like I say all the time, there are important things going on here. I'm just going to cover specific points. For people that are from Delaware County, I would highly recommend you go back and you listen to this entire commissioners meeting. It's only 55 minutes long. Ever since Sherry started griping, we've got the meetings down in less than an hour. So, okay. So, good for them. All right, let's move forward and find out if that's the end of the drone discussion during the commissioners meeting. Let's listen.
I sent some corrections. I believe those have been incorporated. I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Roll
Let's
call,
find
please.
out.
I know that you stop in once in a while. And
Huh?
you stop in to check on us, and we appreciate
Yeah,
that.
I make sure Brian's doing his job,
Yes.
With the new standards, the office hours have to be posted on their door, on the county website and the state website. And the service officers must be paid employees of the county, not appointed anymore.
Okay,
And
so
they have to
we're
work 1,000 hours per year,
yeah. Let's
which
all right.
equals about 20
Let's
hours
go
a week.
down.
So as long as Brian's working that many, he's in compliance, which he is.
Analytics contract. So every 2 years, the county is required to run we're supposed to do an analysis
that's
of all
the
the roads and
Validix
basically
contract.
take an inventory of them in the
keep
condition. The last 2-year cycle.
There's Brad Polk. Here's Fred
questions from
Cummins.
last week. Motorola has answered those. I also have 2 Motorola people here. If you have any final questions, I'm asking you to approve the contract as it was redlined at your recommendation.
Okay.
And they also lowered the post-warranty stuff, I believe by 10%.
Has legal reviewed this?
Yeah,
And they modified the clause completely.
I know Commissioner Brand helped you tweak it a little bit and appreciate his work on it.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think the substantive changes since the last review or discussion, they removed the freight and volatility clause completely. They removed the termination for convenience clause completely. They moved the payment terms to an 80-20, so 80% upon delivery of the equipment, 20% upon beneficial use. That specific language is in there now, so we basically have a holdback payment until the system is operating correctly. That 20%.
Yes, total madness, no question.
$1,171.60. And they modified the CPI language and the AAS model spreading cost language. So I still believe legal has legal reviewed this.
Yeah, I looked at it and with those changes, I think it's acceptable.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I will second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brand?
Yes.
Commissioner, yes.
Commissioner Reagan?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks,
Thank
Fred.
you.
Here we go.
Now the RDSA settlement.
It's the RDSA settlement.
This is a settlement that we received some information about the other day on the opioid litigation. It's settlement with 5 different opioid distributors, pharmacies that have been approved by the court in the national opioid case. And what they're wanting is a approval of the settlement. It's about $90 million or maybe $100 million more or less, and the information I sent to you, and we'll get a trickle down amount because it's for the entire country. So it's been recommended by the Opioid Litigation Council to approve this. We have until May 4th in which to approve it. I don't think there's much choice in that we have whether to approve it or not.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
A second.
Okay.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner
Here we
Henry?
go.
Yes.
Commissioner Brand?
Yes.
What's going to
Commissioner
happen next?
Yes, thank you. Base, drone base lease.
Reagan. So this is a pivot. So we killed the interlocal agreement earlier and shifting to a lease agreement, which would be a 2-year lease agreement. I do believe, Mr. Brook, this has been socialized with the city's attorney.
Yes, I received an email this morning. The language I had a question about, I'm going to keep in about the access in events of emergency for the county to get to it.
Which was in the original interlocal.
Okay, so we killed the interlocal agreement, and for everybody that was like, "Well, that's surprising. That's a breath of fresh air. We're not doing it. That's good. Good for him." Let me tell you what I think just happened here. So, when they met the first time, they didn't have any information. Okay. And in my opinion, that's bad on the police department. How dare the city police department, how dare Dan Ridenour put this thing together for this interlocal agreement and then not go to their meeting back on Monday, March 2nd to explain anything. So they did the right thing back on Monday, March 2nd. They didn't do anything, so they tabled it and they did the right thing. Then the Muncie City Council had a meeting 12 hours later, okay, in the evening, and the police department and the mayor get there, and they're doing all of their thing, and they're trying to get the council to okay this, to do this. And you heard, if everybody remembers what the police chief told Nora at one of his last times up to speak at the podium, he said, you know, we're getting into the weeds on this thing. You know, I'm done talking about it. Either vote yes or vote no, and I'll figure out another way to do it. Well, the council didn't vote no on it. The council did what they should have done. They tabled it so they could get some more information. They tabled it because 2 or 3, maybe 4 of the 9 city councilors asked for more information. They wanted to see the city's drone policy. They wanted to find out about the city having an office or offices at the county building. They wanted to know more about what the city police department was doing legitimately. And they ask questions, as they should have. And they tabled it, which pissed off the chief of police, pissed off the mayor, and I knew, I wish I would have said it. The minute that happened, I knew they weren't going to wait for the council to bring it back up and to vote on it. They were going to go the other way with it. So that's what they're saying here. And they're not like talking in a way that anybody can understand what the hell it is they're saying. They're talking like, let's go back and listen to what Brand said here. Let's go back and listen to what he said here. Oops, we went too far back. Let's go back here. Let's go back here. Here we go.
Drone base.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
so
right.
this is a pivot. So we killed the interlocal agreement early.
This is a pivot. Hear that word? This is a pivot. So they killed the interlocal agreement, just a few minutes ago. This is a pivot.
They're shifting to a lease agreement, which would be.
And we're shifting to a lease agreement. Now, I don't know legally what the difference is. It's still an agreement between the city and the county. I don't know. Here's what I can assume. I can assume that one way is done without the council having to be part of it. And that's what we're seeing here. They just took the council out of it rather than just saying, okay, we can wait 1 month and we can give them new information. We're going to pivot.
Well, if the council was going to be approving the money for the lease, then it would have to go to the council.
Mm-hmm.
But Dan's got his glorious slush fund.
That's right.
He's got his edit money. So
absolutely,
that's how you circumvent the council.
He can do whatever he wants. Just right on down. All right, let's listen to what he says here. And listen to the weird words used here. It's not like because if they talked in such a way that people could understand, then people would understand what they're saying, and they don't want that.
A 2-year lease agreement. I do believe, Mr. Brooke, this has been socialized with the city's attorney.
Yes.
I believe this has been socialized with it. What does that mean? You mean he's seen it? He's read it. We've emailed it to him. We believe this has been socialized. What? I don't understand. I just don't get it. Okay, let's continue on.
Received an email this morning. The language I had a question about, I'm going to keep in about the access in events of emergency for the county to get to it.
Which was in the original interlocal language.
Yes, it was. I can have a clean version. I think I sent you a red line version.
Yep.
I'll have a clean version that you can affix your signatures to.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan.
Yes. Thank you. Ordinance for first reading, the 2026-05, the handbook.
And that's it. That quick. Boom, bang, pow. Just like that. Just like that. Okay. Now, let's leave the Delaware County Commissioners. And let's now go back to my email. Okay. I emailed all 9 council members yesterday an email asking them if they knew anything about this, if they've got anything they've requested, what they know about, all those questions I asked, those 3 questions. Okay. And let's find out what, if anything, any of them have said to me. Okay. Let me go down through here and just double check and make sure I didn't get any more response from anyone today. Okay, let me see. Okay. All right. Yeah. District 2. I didn't get anything from anyone today. So Nora Powell responded and said this. Mr. Bilbrey, no, I have not received the written copy of NPD's drone policy that I requested at the March council meeting. Listen, that meeting happened on Monday, March 2nd. It's Monday, March 16th. That's too many days for them to go and not give the council something that they're requesting for them to do their job. Look, I get it. I get when I put in a record request or when you put in a record request. I get it. I get that they're going to stonewall us and do all that crap. But when you're an elected council person and you ask the chief of police for a copy of their policy, they should have that to you the next day. It's Monday night. They should have that on Tuesday. So Nora says, no, I don't have these documents I requested. That's the question number 1. Okay. Question number 2. No, I have not spoken with any of the Delaware County commissioners regarding the drone-based placement. I'd been informed the commissioners have tabled the interlocal agreement due to lack of information. She was informed. I informed her of that when I informed everybody on Monday, March 2nd at the council meeting. I informed them that they tabled it. However, today we see that they killed the interlocal agreement and they passed some kind of lease contract. Okay. So that's wonky. And then lastly, Nora says, yes, I'm aware of the consultant hired by the city, reference a standalone MPD office. I posted information, reference this on my Facebook page on February 10th, Nora Powell. Okay. So that's the kind of the side piece there. All right. But that's 2 things connected to the drone and it doesn't really sound good. All right. Moving on. What does Counselor Mason say? Counselor Mason says, good afternoon, Chris. This was yesterday. I have not gotten any information from anyone concerning the drone policy for a base on the roof of the county building. Okay. So he's not gotten anything. As with everything else the administration does, they are very secretive about what they do. I absolutely agree, Mason. I absolutely agree. I have not been in contact with any of the commissioners concerning this issue. It seems the city didn't share pertinent information to them as well. That's absolutely true. 100%. Okay. He then says, again, this is news to me telling him that the city hired a firm to look for a standalone police department. He says, again, this is news to me. I can't say whether any of the other council members are aware of this or not. You would think the administration would have at least made the council aware of any contracts being negotiated for this new building. even though Dan is using edit dollars for this project. I think city council should be made aware of it. Was this even mentioned at the State of the Community function? And no, it wasn't. To my belief, it was not. If I'm wrong, I apologize, and I will look into that. But I still think that it was not mentioned. So again, his answers are right in line with Nora. All right. I do have one other person that I heard from the council, and this is shocking. Now, I want everybody to take a deep breath. I want everybody to sit down, relax. I don't want anybody to get lightheaded and hit your head or anything. I was working here in the studio today, this evening, just a little bit ago, doing some work. And my phone rang, and it was Jerry Dishman. What? Jerry Dishman? Yep, that's right. Jerry Dishman sent me a phone call, and I answered that faster than I don't even know what, because I thought, oh my God, something must be going on. Bombs must be dropping. He must have butt dialed. Something's crazy. He called me, and I answered, and I said, hello? And he said, yeah, is this Chris? You know, in his little voice. I said, yeah. And he said, hey, Chris. He said, this is Jerry Dishman. I just wanted to reach back out to you and talk to you about this email you sent. Dude, pigs are flying. I don't even know what else to say. Now, to his credit, the thing that I sent, the email that I sent did say, you can answer these 3 questions by sending me a follow-up email or by calling me. And so, listen to this. He read my email and he called me. And I'm going to tell you what, Jerry Dishman, if you're out there, if you're listening to this, I know you're out there. I know you're listening to this. I know this will get back to you. I commend you for that phone call. I applaud you. Yeah, yes, I did. My hair stood up. I had to change my pants. Everything. It just, I can't even tell you what I thought. It was nuts. It was nuts. But all seriousness, thank you, Jerry. That's how things can work. Now, if you can respond by email, that would be cool. But if you can't, you can call me any and every day you would like. I've got no problem with that. So he called me and he said, hey, I want to answer your email. And I said, okay. No, listen, I was thinking about that. Kid Rock, I don't think that's true. I'll be honest. I don't think he knows how to email. I'm not being mean to him, Jerry. If you're listening to this, I'm not mean. I just don't think that he's up on the email thing. I just don't think that's his game. And I'm okay with that. That's fine. It shouldn't be fine. But if he's willing to work around it, in some manner, then okay, I can deal with it. So he called and he said, first and foremost, and this blows my mind. Listen to what he does. I was like, dude, who are you? He said, so what did you want to know? And I said, well, first question, Jerry. A bunch of you at the meeting, I said, I don't really know how many, 3 or 4 of you out of the 9 ask for the Muncie Police Department drone policy. I just wonder if you happen to have got a copy of that since the Monday, March 2nd meeting. And I swear to God, he said, oh, I got to wait for Kate to get back for this. Kate stepped away. I got to let her get back because she's got to hear this. I just couldn't believe it. It floored me. Okay. Well, so he said, yes, I have a copy of the Muncie Police Department drone policy. And I was like, what? Not even Nora has a copy of the drone policy. What? How did that happen? And you want to know what he said to me? He said, I went up to the police department the next day and I told them I wanted a copy and they gave me a copy. And I'm like, dude, how in the hell did you learn to start being a counselor all in one go? Now, Kate's back, so she's got to hear this. The other thing that you did not, that you just missed, that you didn't hear, I didn't tell you earlier. When I asked Jerry if he had got a copy of the drone policy, because I just assumed he was like everybody else, I said, so did you get a copy of the drone policy? His answer was yes. Yes, I got a copy. And I said, how did you get a copy? And he said, I went to the police department and I asked them. No, you're fine. You're fine. I knew something was up. I didn't want you to not hear that part. He said, I went up to the police department the next day and I asked them for a copy and they gave it to me. So it's just that easy. It's just that easy. Now, well, that's funny, Alva. I don't know that he has a method to share it with the other counselors. That's where we're in now with the problem. You know, I don't know that he has the ability to scan or to take pictures. Here's the thing. What the police department should have done is when they were preparing his, they should have just got 9 copies ready. The police department is in the same building that the city council mailboxes and their offices. Okay. They should just have been able to go print them all off and stick a copy in all of the council members' mailboxes. It should be that easy. Yeah, look, Bocephus, it should always be just that easy. Yes. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. I couldn't believe it. So then, okay, that's just question number 1. Okay. Question number 2. I asked him if he had talked to any of the commissioners. And this is where we then go off. No, he had not talked to the commissioners, but he did say something interesting. He did say, and this is interesting, he said, I didn't talk to the commissioners. I haven't talked to them, but I don't think that we're going to go forward with this. I think that this is going to be pulled, and we're just not going to do anything with it. And I said, wait, why is that? And he's like, I don't know. Then he acted all upset that people were questioning this situation. And he was one of the people that was 100% all for passing this. He wanted it passed. He said he didn't understand. He said the discussion got all about facial recognition and security, surveillance state and all that. And he said that shouldn't have had anything to do with this. And I was like, well, hold on, but basically, it was just interesting what he did say. Lastly, and this shocks me. I said, did you know anything about the city trying to move the police department? And he's like, oh, that old rumor. He was like, I talked to the mayor and the chief about that about 3, 4, 5 months ago. They were going to move the police department to the old CVS building at the corner of 12th and Madison. And I was like, what? That's nonsensical. That's not the center of the city. That would be a horrible, horrible, horrible location. Maybe it'd be okay for a cop shop, but you know, just shocking to me some of the things that he said. So he went on to say that he was aware. He was aware that the city's trying to do this. He didn't know how far they were. Now, he didn't know anything about Dan going to the Board of Works. He didn't know anything about the contract. He didn't know anything about Veritas. You know, that stuff, it was all out. But he had at least a baseline level of understanding of what was going on. So that shocked me because, you know, every time I'm ready to count him out and be like, that dude stuck somewhere in 1984 and he's just not been out since. Then he does something like this and it completely, it just completely kills me. No, he wasn't recording. Unfortunately there, Dave. No, not this time. So that was interesting. That being said, something is happening because even Jerry knows that they're trying to get a new area for the police, which again, I think is just totally stupid, totally uncalled for, totally just not needed. It's horrible. Okay, so I want to say that. Number two, I don't know what they're doing with the drone situation, but I do plan on calling Commissioner Brand bright and early tomorrow morning and finding out what his understanding of the Muncie, Delaware County drone-based lease agreement situation is. I'm going to find out what he knows. I also have a record request issued for any and all emails between anybody involved. Okay. We heard Brand say that there were some emails between the city attorney and John Brook. So I'm going to request those. I'm requesting all of these documents, and we're going to get to we're just going to get all of these, and we're going to listen. I'm going to request them from the city and the county so I can kind of cross compare, and we'll see what goes on. So as far as the drones go, ladies and gentlemen, sadly, I think that we're getting just that much more closer to this being a reality, whatever the hell it is. And I'm telling you, I know that we've had the drones for 8 or 10 years, and I know they've already been doing, you know, whatever. We really need to slow down on this and watch and decide if this is something that we want. And, you know, I don't want, I'll be honest, for all of the pros there are, I still just think there are too many cons. I think there are too many unanswered questions. So that's where I am. It'll be interesting because this is on the table for the meeting, which will come up in a couple of weeks in April. So in order for this to go away, they will have to vote. They will have to, someone more than likely, Basham, I believe, is who put it forward. He'll probably ask to pull it off the table. They'll vote. It'll come off the table, and then he'll have to vote to kill it. And I assume that will happen because I have every fiber of my body and my being is letting me know or letting me believe that this is going to continue on through the Muncie Board of Works or the commissioners like this, and we just won't know anything about it. Okay, so that's that. Okay, that's that. Okay, so moving forward. All right. I want to talk about the Muncie Park Board meeting. Okay, this is tomorrow. The Muncie Park Board meeting will be held at 6 p.m. tomorrow at City Hall, and anyone can show up. All people can show up. I would highly recommend, if somebody's listening to this from Madison County or Henry County or Randolph County or Jay County, and you boat or you camp or you hike or whatever you do, if you do it at Prairie Creek, come to this meeting. I'm going to attempt to reach out to Brad Marshall tomorrow before the meeting to get kind of an understanding of where he thinks things are. I want to know what is going on with the price at Prairie Creek. I want to know why the administration tells Prairie Creek to post the prices. Prairie Creek posts the prices. Citizens start getting irate. Prairie Creek, I don't know who it was, tells the people that are mad, hey, don't shoot the messenger. We're just the messenger. This came from the mayor's office, the administration. And then the Prairie Creek management gets word from someone in the mayor's office that tells them to delete that post on Facebook, delete that post, and then it tells them basically, like, we know that this is right. We know that you're right, that the mayor did this, and this is just something that happens. But your job is to eat shit and take it for the mayor every now and then. And I want to know who said that. I want to know who told the people at Prairie Creek that, and I want to see that in black and white. Okay? Jackie, from everything that I'm hearing, yes. From everything that I've seen so far, I'm pretty sure that the park board voted on the increase as far back as 4 or 5 months ago. I think that's what I'm hearing. I'm in the process of trying to run that down. All I need to do is to get the the minutes and find out when that happened, because I'm pretty sure that that happened. Okay. That being said, why was this not made more of an issue when this was voted on? This is the issue with lack of communication. This is what happens when the administration is more concerned with whatever they're concerned with other than telling the public the truth, and they're not doing what they need to do in making these Facebook posts and spreading the word and helping people to get this information out there. I say, even as bad as the Ridenour administration was with communication from the beginning, they got 20 times worse the minute that Dan stopped allowing comments on the main City of Muncie Facebook page. Ever since then, things have went downhill, worse, and it's just sucked. Okay. So, it really sucks. So the park board meeting is tomorrow at 6. I believe they will have a portion of the meeting where they will talk about various park issues throughout the city of Muncie. If you're interested in those things, come. But they will then, if they do it like they have been doing it, and I don't see why they would stop, they will then have a Prairie Creek report, and they will then talk about various things connected to Prairie Creek, and then the citizens will be allowed to share their thoughts, their concerns. So I really want people to attend the meeting and speak out.
When is the meeting, please?
Tomorrow, 6 p.m.,
Thank you.
Tuesday, the 17th of March, 2026, at 7 p.m., Muncie City Hall, 300 East Main Street, 300 North High, 300 North High Street, Muncie, Indiana, is the where the city hall is. It's on the first floor. It's in the council chambers or the city court. If you've never been there before, show up. Even if you don't want to speak, you can show up and you can stand when people are speaking that you support. Just let them know there are people here. I think he hired Amber Green because he knew she'd bulldoze through any critics, and she kind of has. I've got nothing against her, but she oftentimes does come out swinging when it's not necessary. That's a very interesting. That's very interesting. I have heard a couple people say, do you think that he hired her because she is such a lightning rod that she kind of takes some of the heat off of him? And look, I mean, Dan is a shifty. So I don't know. But I've heard people say they've won, they've defeated us. What's the point? He's not going to be there. What's the point of going? Well, why would I, waste my time? And that's the problem. That is a serious issue. We have to stop thinking like that. We have to say, this is my problem. This is my issue. And I'm going to make them understand, period. So tomorrow, Tuesday, March 17th, 2026, 6 p.m., Muncie City Hall. Be there. Okay. And lastly, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to try to get out here in the next 10 minutes, right at an hour and a half tonight. Cooking right along. Here's the deal. I am currently looking into several different issues pertaining to claims that the idiot in Henry County, Randy Howard, is currently making. There have been claims that he has been making, both publicly and one-on-one to people, that I fully believe are definitely flat out lies. And quite possibly there are some things that I feel like he's dancing really close to, saying things that could be possibly criminal. Now, I'm not going to come right out and say, he's impersonating or doing this, because I don't have it all on lock yet. I will tell you, I did contact the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy today, and I'm going to pull this up so you guys can hear this phone call. Give me a second here. You know what I hate? I hate that I can't, while I'm in the studio, go in and pull out another part of the studio without having to pull up. I hate that. Okay. Let me see. Where are we at? View. Okay. All right. Give me a second here. Let's see what I gotta do. Share screen. StreamYard. Okay. Here we go. Tell me if you can hear this, Kate. Hello?
Hi, is this Kristopher Bilbrey?
Bilbrey, yes, ma'am.
Bilbrey. Yes, hi. My name is Anna Kingsley. I'm calling from the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy. How are you?
All right. Hey, I'm glad. I was just getting ready to try to call somebody back there. I'm glad you called back.
Yes. I get your voicemail. I'm a paralegal here at the academy.
Okay.
And so what I would like to ask of you is that if you could submit an APRA request through our APRA portal on our website,
I can do that.
then we can take a look into that and provide any documents that we have if we have any.
Okay, I can do that. So is that just going to ILEA?
Yep, it's ilea.in.gov. And then on that, there's a public information tab. And if you click that, then the APRA portal will be on that tab.
Okay. Okay. And so let me ask you this. I'm going to do that now. Is there any way? I mean, is there? So I guess I'm just trying to figure out. Do you guys? Maybe you can't tell me this now. Like, certainly, I'm pretty sure that you do not hire, or you've not hired someone named Randy Howard as an instructor in the academy. Is that not something that you can like verify over the phone?
Let the APRA response speak for itself. I think it'll be clear when we provide that information.
Okay. I guess I'm just concerned because I know sometimes with APRA, it's not like if there are no documents, you know, it's not like you have to, it's not like an APRA request will force you to create a document. So I guess my question goes a little bit beyond. So for example, if the question is there a Randy Howard employed, or has a Randy Howard ever been employed by the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy? And the answer is no, and you have nothing. I guess the further question is, so this gentleman is going around and putting out campaign literature stating that he's a certified law enforcement instructor. And I guess my question, go ahead.
There's other agencies that can certify law enforcement instructors. For example, there's IATLIS, which is the International something of law enforcement training.
Sure.
And they can certify. So ILEA is not the only agency that does certify law enforcement instructors.
Sure.
And
sure.
Furthermore, you could create your own company, really, and say that you're a law enforcement instructor, and they do not have to get approval by private companies. Don't have to be approved by the Law Enforcement Academy to have law enforcement instructor. I mean, it's all just kind of wording and semantics.
Sure. Go ahead.
Through the APRA request, I can answer through the APRA request anything regarding Indiana,
sure,
or the Law Enforcement Academy itself.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, and that's basically the end of it there, ladies and gentlemen. I know it's a little bit harder to hear her. I didn't realize that the first time I listened to it. She must have had me on speakerphone. So essentially, I asked her if she could tell me over the phone if they had hired a Randy Howard, and she said she was going to let the APRA request speak for itself. And she told me the APRA request would pretty much quickly explain basically everything that I was looking for. That's one of the questions that I ask on the document that I sent in was, does the ILEA hire someone who is not a certified instructor through them, or do they hire someone that has their own company? Now, I know for a fact, absolutely beyond all shadow of a doubt, you can be a police officer for the city of Muncie. You could be a Madison County Sheriff's Deputy. You could be an Elwood police officer, a Fairmount police officer, a Daleville police officer, a Selma police officer. And if you are an instructor, if you go down and you become an instructor as a police officer for your department, sometimes these instructors will go down and they will put on classes, and they will help in defensive tactics or firearms or emergency vehicle operations. And that's something they can do. But that's not a private company where the person isn't a cop and they are just a jiu-jitsu guy and that's not something to do. I'm pretty sure that the answer will be no, that does not happen. They have enough of their own instructors, and they don't do that. I will say that Randy's now posting that he is a member of the ILEETA, and it's comical that he is posting this because essentially this is like somebody is the screen really laggy? Am I okay? It seems like it was laggy. It's like cigar key. It's like Oath Keepers of America or Cigar Lovers of America, or the NRA. You can. Oh, now see, I knew I was. Kate doesn't think I am, but the people are saying I am. I thought I was. Yeah, it's like doing this. It's very weird. I don't know why that's doing that down here. I gotta do some internet stuff to see if we can boost the internet. Anywho,
I put up the in the media screenshot from how you can join ILEETA.
Oh yes, good. Okay, yeah. So it's basically like something that you just pay dues to, and anybody can do it. Now, it's a little bit different because if the way that Randy's allowed to do this, I'm going to be very clear. The way that he is allowed to do this is one thing that I will give Randy credit for. Okay, I will give him credit. Randy, years and years and years and years ago, started practicing martial arts, various types of martial arts, judo, jiu-jitsu, karate, taekwondo, things like that. And he has worked himself into a position of holding a black belt in a couple different styles of martial arts. And I will tell you this. I absolutely believe that that's a pretty cool thing. And the fact that Randy can't just say, hey, I've done something that a lot of people don't do, and I'm pretty accomplished in that, and I'm proud of myself. That's not good enough for him. He's got to make it so much more grandiose and bizarre. So what's going to happen here is Randy applies to this, and he sends in his instructor as a black belt certificate, and keep in mind, I used to be in martial arts, and I've done some of these very same things. Okay, I haven't reached different belts and then said, "Ooh, I'm now an instructor and teach the FBI." That's crazy. I just realized that I became an assistant instructor when I became a purple belt, and when I reached my brown belt, I did this and this, and so it's something that takes a lot of hard work, and it's cool. But it doesn't mean that you are now an instructor for law enforcement. It's shocking. It's shocking what Randy believes about himself. So the way that he has did this thing with ILEETA is essentially let me pull this down here. What he's done is you can go through the ILEETA, the International Law Enforcement Educators and Trainers Association, and you can pay your dues. It's $45 for the year. And we are pleased to invite you to join the International Law Enforcement Educators and Trainers Association. The association was created to serve those that educate and train those who protect our society. There are no associate members, and documentation of work in criminal justice training education is required. Please complete as accurately and completely as possible, as we use this information to complete your membership materials and to contact you. Note there is additional $5 fee for processing all new members. Please use correct capitalization and do not use all capital letters. Please use 2-letter code for your state or province. If payment is not received at the time of application, an invoice will be emailed to your preferred email address. If payment is received with your application, a receipt will be emailed to your preferred email address. We accept MasterCard, Visa, Discover, PayPal, check, or money order. If you are applying for membership in order to attend the ILEETA conference, you will be able to register for the conference once your application has been initiated, even if payment is still due. Online applications are processed most quickly. So basically, this is just a situation where Randy, having some slips of paper, has been able to turn those different slips of paper into this organization. And that's basically that. And what did Heather say here? Heather asked a really important question. If he got certified in the 1800s, you would think he needs to be recertified. Well, I will tell you, generally in situations like this, like, with CPR, with any type of law enforcement training, there's yearly mandates, state mandates that you have to take every year. Firearms, you have to requalify, several times a year. And there's a lot of different things that require you to update and to train and to get the newest information in that field, because like a lot of other things, law enforcement changes quickly. Almost as soon as you learn something, it's basically outdated because there's already something else coming down the pipe. And so as far as anybody saying, Randy says he doesn't have to recertify, because I've heard several people say this. I've heard several people say that he doesn't, he says that he doesn't have to recertify. And so, listen, that's crazy. Okay? Just absolutely crazy. Not so fast. I'm just saying, it might not be today, and it might not be tomorrow, but there is coming a point very soon where Randy is going to have a come to Jesus meeting. All of the lies and the mistruths and the misinformation and bullshit that Randy has told and spread, it's going to come to a head, and it's going to come to a head soon. So we will keep you posted. I did issue a records request there. I kicked it out. She said that they would get that back quickly. Somebody asked, I think Tinkerbell asked what she said when I said that he's been telling people that he's an instructor. She didn't really say much. She just kind of like took it in. Again, maybe he's created this business in his mind that he's an instructor in. The bottom line, I guess he can call himself whatever. At the end of the day, he keeps saying now is not the time for questions, that he doesn't owe anybody any questions. He feels that people are just coming after him, just to, throw mud and to be mean. Well, at some point, we're going to reach a point where he's going to have to realize he is in a race for this office, and he is going to have to answer some questions, or he's just going to have to sit the hell down and say, all right, I messed up. I shouldn't have done this. I can't withdraw now because the time's too late, but what can I do to stay out of everybody's way? That's what he needs to do. Yeah, exaggerations. Yeah. I have to get my certifications redone every 2 years to make sure no one drowns. He should have to redo his. Listen, Heather, his quote unquote recertification, his certifications aren't actual certifications. It's just the fact that he is a black belt, which that in and of itself is cool. I don't know why he has to lie. He's a black belt, and because of that, he's been one of the assistant instructors, and he might have had a couple police officers come through one of his dojos, but at the same time, he's had a banker come through one of his dojos. He's had a construction worker come through one of his places where he teaches. That doesn't mean that he's a banker. It doesn't mean he's a construction worker. And just because there's been a police officer come through doesn't mean that he is a police officer or that he is an instructor. The other thing, I am also hearing that he has been telling people, several different people, like one-on-one, that he has experience as a corrections officer. I want to reiterate this to everybody. If you've talked to Randy and if Randy has told you that he has ever served as a police officer, he's ever served as a corrections officer, if he's ever said that he has trained at the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy, then get in contact with me. Email me, Facebook message me, let me know, because I know he's saying that. Alva. Yes, that was. Yes. If you talk to Randy, he's recording you. Remember that. Oh yeah, listen, that's fine. And I'll tell you the opposite. If you're talking to Randy, you should be recording him. Indiana's a one-party consent state. Randy's recording because he believes. There was a period where all of a sudden Randy wanted to be Kristopher Bilbrey. And it's very embarrassing for me. That is something that makes me feel weird. I've had a lot of people say, like, oh, he tries to be you. I don't like that because I'm a nobody. I am like nobody. So it's like, why would he, but he wants to do this. He wants to have people watching him. He wants to be in the know. He wants to be somebody. And that's what all of this is about. Could you imagine Randy Howard and John in the same room? My gun is bigger. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. You're his mentor. I will tell you, one of the funniest things, before we go, I want to show you this. One of the funniest things that I've ever seen, it's always bad. Here's the funny thing. sometimes Randy gets really good burns, like on Sproles, like the things that Randy says about him. It's like, ooh, that's hilarious. But what's weird is everything that Randy says about Sproles, it's true, but it's also true about himself. But everything Sproles says about Randy is funny because it's true, but it's also true about himself. They are so weird. Well, Sproles got Randy one time, and I want to pull this up here and show you. Let me find this really quickly. I think that we've talked about this once before, but it's worth taking a look because it's oh yeah, right here. This is hilarious to me. Okay, let me share this in Messenger chats. Okay, I'm going to put this up here on the screen for y'all to see. This is actually, Kate, can you put that in the overlays, what I just sent you in the group? If you could do that, that would be a badass. This shit would be great for TV, I wish. Josephus. So the sheriff and Randy were having this pissing match one time, back and forth, just going after each other. And this is right around the time that the sheriff called Randy out for not using an Indiana sheriff star, but one of the Texas, California 6-pointed stars. Okay. The sheriff also talked about this really cool action shot here that Randy had. Take a look at this. Here's Randy. This is Randy in his very best. And what we see here is Mr. Howard holding a gun and acting like he is acting like he's looking through this, and he doesn't have the eye caps off of his scope. First of all, his scope is really far forward. It needs to be like back some. But yeah, right. So what we need to do is we need to put this picture of Randy in his action shot here, looking through his scope with the eye caps on, right next to the picture of Sproles in the jail in his dress pants and his riot jacket and his helmet with his beanbag shotgun. These two would be absolutely quite the pair. I just don't understand. Heather. Oh God, I tell you. What I want to know is whose gun is that? Because it's not his. It's not his. And the thing is here, his gun. His gun is like his driver's license. He doesn't have one. That's what I was going to say. This is somebody else's gun that he's holding. Now, is there anybody out there that knows? Is he left-handed? Because he's holding this gun awkwardly. Like, I hate left-handed people using guns. My brother's left-handed, and it's always weird when he has to, get his rifle on. He's so funky. I don't get it. It's like, now he says he's got his license back. I don't believe anything he says at this point, but he claims it. It's like Randy shooting his gun. Here he's holding his gun, shooting it. Here, I'm left-handed. I don't have a problem with left-handed people. I have a problem with left-handed people holding guns with their left-handed weirdness. It just, it's weird when you hold a gun. Here's a gun with my right hand. Here's a gun with my left hand. Okay, that's okay. The problem is when you're holding a rifle. A rifle does weird things when it's being held by a left-handed person, not in the right-handed way. We need someone to put Randy's face on Sensei. Micah, I'll get to working on that. That's hilarious. And that is true. It's very possible that he's not left-handed. It's very possible that he picked up the gun because someone handed it to him, and that's just the way. I will give him props. I will give him props. He definitely has his some trigger discipline here. He doesn't have the old booger hook on the bang switch. That's always good. But I I just would like to. I would give anything for Randy to just send me lots and lots of pictures of him in different action shots. I will tell you, we have one more. Speaking of Randy and the action shots, we do have one more here that I'm going to put up. And this is I've heard that he's really confident that he has this sheriff's race won. I've heard that he's basically telling his wife and other people that there's no way he can lose, and that he's basically already like going through the motions. And so I've heard that he's already bought this, and that he went out and he has spent all the money on this. And so I'm hearing that this could be a reality here. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce to you Tweedledum, certainly here. Here we go. Did he order all new 6-star badges? So here he is, in action. Here's Randy in action here. God, AI is so horrible. God. I'm just looking at everything that this includes. Poor Randy. Poor Randy. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us. I know that things are still a little bizarre, and I am running on absolutely just fumes. But we're still getting it together, putting it together. We will be through all this madness sooner rather than later. So just bear with me. I'm trying to bring you the best shows we can. Until then, we will be done soon. I'm so ready to get into the studio and have it all behind us and just be going full steam ahead. Thank you all for tuning in. I would ask if you haven't already, smash that like button. Please consider subscribing if you haven't. It doesn't cost you anything. Do it or don't do it. I don't care. Whatever. It helps you more than it helps me, because it gives you a notification when we go live or when we drop content. So that would be cool. But it also helps. It helps us with the algorithm. So whatever. Smash that like button, click the bell, do all of that stuff. The most important thing is that you're sharing the show with everyone you know. Help spread the word. That's very, very, very big. And get registered. Get registered. And we'll get that taken care of. Yes, I'm going to get that up on social media. I should be putting it up. I should be able to put it up this evening as soon as we get off here. So I'll be getting ready to get that going, and we will get that taken care of and go from there. All right. Until tomorrow, you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening. Have a great Tuesday. Remember, there is a Delaware County, not Delaware County. There is the City of Muncie Board of, that's Wednesday. There is a City of Muncie Parks Board meeting tomorrow. So remember that. And we will see you there. We will be live streaming that meeting, and then we will be live after the meeting to give you a heads up on everything that's going on. So tune into all of that, and we will see you then. Good night. And as soon as I set the outro, goodbye and goodbye.